Hey! Hey! That's enough, you two! Yes, I know. It's not abnormal to have some physical tussles in the ring, but it's not okay to have them in the street. Especially when I can sense the real tension in between you two. Yes, you too, my child. Now, would you be so kind as to apologize? It's time for you to come home regardless, my child. It's nearly sunset. Thank you. Now, let's head home. Calm down, my child. She didn't mean anything by it. I know Reyna. She may be as blunt as a brick, but she's always well-meaning. I've never heard her truly insult someone with malice. You two just let your emotions get the better of you, I'm sure. Tomorrow, even without my encouragement, I'm sure you would have apologized to one another and laughed about how silly it was before poking fun at each other's fighting moves. See, I know you too well. Come inside. I know you ate earlier, so I won't dictate that you do now. We do have some leftovers from dinner if you need something. No? Okay. Why don't you sit on the couch and relax? You do have a scratch from your scuffle in the dirt. Let me get a cloth to clean it. It doesn't look like it needs a bandage, but we do want to make sure it doesn't get infected. This should do. Sorry if it stings a little. Just some soap and water. As I do this, do you want to tell me what you and Reyna got into it over? Ah. I see. Sounds like the fighting was just spur of the moment, huh? So what really caused the tension then? I see. I'm not surprised, though it does sadden me. Reyna's a good kid, but she's nearly of age, so if she wishes to leave our home, all of us will support her. You didn't realize, did you? Despite her size, she is nearly 18. She will be next month. You wonder why she always wins her fights against you? It's not that you lack martial prowess, my child. She simply had several more years than you. Just because she's thinking about leaving doesn't mean she doesn't value your relationship. And it doesn't mean you'll never see her again. I'm sure the lauded Citadel of Light has a mailbox, my child. It will be dangerous, no doubt. But those rates take into account those who learn to fight in back alleys with nothing but their wits. I think it's safe to say that Raina, as close to a born fighter as you can get, will do fine, especially with her chain sickles and poison. I see. This isn't about the danger, is it? Not truly. It's about losing her, isn't it? Even though you brush that off, I can tell it's bothering you. My child, as I said, we can be safe in saying that you'll see her again, No doubt she'll be sending news back home, especially to her own family, and especially to her siblings. But I understand your feelings. She's going to leave soon, and things won't be the same without her. That's a truth I won't hide. I know. I've experienced many similar feelings in my life, my child. It's not wrong for you to feel bad, to wish that she'd stay, to wish that things would stay the same. Change in our lives will always present challenges for us. It's not wrong to feel these things, but the important thing is to not allow them to control you. It's okay to feel upset that she's leaving, but don't let it manifest in despair or anger. Let it manifest in a positive way. Joke with her. Tell her that she better knock him dead in that school. That she'd better have some stories when she comes back. Tell her you're worried. Just send back some words for you every now and then. To know how she's doing, or at least that she's alright. And I'm sure she'll happily agree. Don't let the future control you, my child. Time often seems to slow as it approaches us. So take advantage. Spend some time with her in the coming month. Get in as many fights as you can in the ring. Show her how much you've learned. Live in the now, my child. Don't let unfounded fears control you. That's my child. I can see that you're starting to nod off. Let's get you to bed. Oh. I figured you'd be too old for bedtime stories by now. I know. I'm just teasing you. Which story would you like? The Battle of the Deities. It's such a good legend. You learn the names of the months with this too. It holds a special place in my heart. How about you lay down, my child, and I'll tell you that story. In the first month of the year, Bezrei, we began with nothing, before a single spark created our world. At the behest of the great Bezrei, the primordial deity of creation, the world of Chronia began to turn, and the great mountains and lands rose above the great seas. But as time began to flow forward, Bezrei realized that something was wrong. They were not alone. "How dare you, foolish junior," said the other voice. It was none other than the eldest primordial sibling, Jingxi, the primordial deity of destruction. "You come into my domain and believe you have a place?" Jingxi sternly asked. Then with a wave of their hand, crafted the moon, and sent the world into the darkest night. And so, the second month of the year was named Faintum, after Faina, Jingxi's child, the moon. "Sibling, how can we see without any light?" Bezrei said, and in their hands crafted a bright sun for the world to see. "Perhaps Faina and my child, Chisra, the sun, can share the sky." And so, the third month of the year was named Chisrei, after Chisra, Bezrei's child, the sun. "This is not up for debate," Jingxi said sternly. "I will not allow your creations to be." And so they slammed their hand into the ground. And when it was lifted, there was a being to prevent all beings, Dihjiin, the death. And so the fourth month of the year was named Dihjiin, after Dihjiin, Jingxi's child, the death. Sibling, I cannot allow this. My world was created for beings, Besray said in annoyance. They put their hands together, and a wave rippled over the world, a product of the new bringer of life. And so, the 5th month of the year was named May, after Mayo, Besray's child, the life. Beings that will inevitably fight, that will spill blood over one another, Jingxi chided, in view of their child, Enra, the conflict, leaving the world to war. And so, the 6th month of the year was named Enrum, after Enra, Jingxi's child, the conflict. This cannot be. Division and strife cannot beget creation in good faith, Besray said defiantly. And then they called the will of the beings to calm, and lay down their arms in view of Lan, the peace. And so, the 7th month of the year was named Lane, after Lan, Besray's child, the peace. Your so-called peace will never be perfect, my junior. Do you truly believe that division is exclusive to war? And in that moment, Besray felt the power of Enra's close sibling, Bindings, the discord, begin to infiltrate their sanctuary. And so, the 8th month of the year was named Bainum, after Bindings, Jingxi's child, the discord. You are crafty, my senior, but your corruption has a counter. The dissonance shall be banished within the harmony of peace. And as Besray spoke, Bindings' corruption was met by Lan's close sibling, Belen, the harmony, balancing the temperament of the living. And so, the 9th month of the year was named Belene, after Belen, Besray's child, the harmony. Even with it all, fools are not long for this world. I'll just have to make it so, said Jingxi, cursing Chronia with the blindness brought on by Octer, the ignorance. And so the 10th month of the year was named Octum, after Octer, Jingxi's child, the ignorance. You have hampered them thus far and failed thus far, senior. This will be no different, Besray said in anger. Then opened their mind, and then was born Genius, the being of knowledge, to lift the wool from the eyes of the world. And so, the 11th month of the year was named Genoi, after Genoius, Besray's child, the knowledge. In the 12th and final month, Jingxi, in silent anger, resolved to succeed where their children had failed. They let loose their energy, and it poured onto the center of the world, coalescing into a massive front that devoured the center of the planet. In response, Besray prepared their creations to defend themselves, and the children of the primordials, Besray's living beings, led by humanity, and Jingxi's horrors, coalesced into the rot, would forever battle for the land that stands the test of time. That always gets you to sleep, my child. Things will be okay. I promise you. Sleep well, my child.